You know, one of the things we look at when we call look for local resources, that student veterans have a huge, we in Tampa have a huge student veteran population, both Hillsborough and Pinellas, but we really don't know how the COVID-19 is affecting our student veterans and their families. Welcome to Veterans Resource, Know Your Resource podcast. Welcome, guys. Today we got a special podcast. We're going to focus on the student veterans in the Hillsborough and Pinellas area, and we want to know what kind of things they're going through the COVID, that things we don't know about, think about. Some people think that the veterans and their families are just taken care of. And don't worry, they got all the resources they need. We need help, but that's not always the case. And what you're going to hear from three advisors or directors from each campus about what exactly is going on with the student veteran population. We're gonna have the University of Florida St. Pete, Wayne Taylor. We're gonna have the St. Leo University, Luke McClees, and we're gonna also have St. Pete College, Allison Chinosky, and they're gonna sit there and have what I call a round table discussion on what's going on with the families and the veterans during this COVID time here. Before we do that, I want to at least let you guys know about what's going on this Friday from Know Your Local resource. This Friday, we're gonna sit there and have a good conversation with Bay Area Legal with Jennifer Broomfield. Jennifer Broomfield is an attorney, and she also they have their own support line. They focus on what veterans upgrades. That's one thing that's very interesting to know about getting your upgrades, domestic violence, and maybe soon and during these holidays, maybe even eviction. So stay tuned at 11:30 on this channel here. Just click the Veterans Counseling Veterans Inc. and you'll be able to sit there and see our podcast. But until then, let's get to it. So first, I want to sit there and introduce our guests. So we have here, like I said, Wayne Taylor from USF. Say hi, Wayne.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Luke from St. Leo University.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
From St. Pete College. So first of all, just go around the horn and you guys just tell us kind of, like on a 2-minute cliff note, what you do for your university. And we'll start with Wayne.
I'm Wayne Taylor. I'm the Assistant Director of the Military Families and Veteran Success Center at the St. Pete campus for USF. Since consolidation, we are part of the Office of Veteran Success, which now is part of the Tampa campus as well as Sarasota. And so our focus is to help with processing the benefits of student veterans, or better yet, military connected students. So that includes the family members, so whether it be a dependent or specifically the spouse of a military member or veteran. So we focus on helping take care of them with their benefits. We also focus on career placement, vet tutoring, academic resources, and a lot of community resources and community outreach that we work with. And then try to work with our partner schools, such as St. Pete College and St. Leo, which are right nearby.
Great, thank you. And Allison, tell us about what you do at St. Pete College.
Hey everybody, my name is Allison Chinosky and I'm the coordinator of veteran services here at St. Petersburg College. We are a little bit different in our services. We do process GI Bill, as I'm sure most of us do here in this type of job, but being that we are a community college, we serve an awful lot as a transitional platform for people. And so we have a lot of resources that we try and connect our students with, military resources, which is how we know Tony. And we just really try and be Johnny on the spot for any military affiliated person that steps foot on our campus.
Okay, and then Luke from St. Leo University.
So much like what Wayne and Allison have just said, my job follows right in line with what they're doing. And, when people ask me what I do, really to surmise it, for military connected students, I just remove any barrier that they might have while in school or as recent graduates to help them be successful on their own terms. So in a nutshell, that's really what I exist to do. And that might be connecting with resources, that might be dealing with faculty, other staff, whatever need arises, I'm there to make sure that that student is successful.
Great. So, the reason why we're here is we want to talk about how the COVID-19 has affected our student veteran population and their families. And so we'll just go around the horn again, and we'll start with Allison, and just give us a sense of what have you, of course, you as a college, but as the student veterans as well, how they have their experience as far as with the COVID-19?
Well, it hasn't been the most positive thing ever. As anybody who's met a military person in their life before knows, we're kind of face-to-face learners, hands-on learners. So that transition to online learning has not been the easiest thing ever. But I will take this opportunity to give kudos to the American people for passing the Senate bill, which allows our students to study in an online environment and still maintain their GI Bill. So that's been helpful.
So just like Allison said, for our population, we're seeing the same thing here at St. Leo. Our military connected students tend to want to be in the classroom over online. However, I will say this, I was reaching out to students in the spring, and what I noticed at first, there was a lot of resiliency, a lot of like, this is only going to be for a few months, we can do this. Then a few months later, things started to change. When I would reach out, somebody would report, I lost my job, or my spouse lost their job, or something happened. So things started to change. And now when I speak to students, it's that coupled with, well, COVID was supposed to last till June. It's November now. We don't know what's going on. I'm still trying to find a job, or my spouse is still trying to find a job. I'm not, I really don't like online learning, but I'll stick it out. However, how long is this going to last? And that's the pain point right now. It kind of went from being very resilient to some type of an economic issue. And now it's economic issue with all of that social and financial pressure building into mental challenges.
Well, are you seeing the same thing there, Wayne?
Absolutely. I mean, it started off where, like Luke said, this is going to go away. It's only going to last a few months, and we're gonna find we can endure anything. We've had deployments last longer than this, and so I mean, everyone has experienced that, but it's really hitting home even more so now. And as Luke and I know Allison's folks are feeling the same pressure. When we're talking about losing jobs, wondering where that next meal is coming from, how am I going to pay that electric bill? So we've transitioned to not just dealing with helping out with benefits or helping out with careers, but as Luke said, crossing all barriers, trying to figure out how can we help someone deal with food insecurity or housing insecurity that they're going to be facing with COVID.
Yes, and Allison, have you noticed that transition? Like, I know we've talked before about, when you're in the military, you have this me kind of attitude, and you got that pride. Have you noticed that pride thing kind of stopping the veterans from seeking help?
Occasionally, I'll be honest though, I think that our vets are pretty darn well adapted, and they have enough responsibility on their shoulders that when the stuff hits the fan, they are no bones about it. They're down to business and they're taking care of it. So when we've seen people that have a need, they have been, I don't want to say eager to shout about it, but they're definitely willing to come and talk to us and seek out that help. And that's probably adverse to what people generally think about the military population, which is really cool. It speaks to how wonderful they are.
So, and I want to talk, and where I failed to mention too, like some of these, we got some of the branches all here. Luke is on the Marine side. So do you see that same? Do you see that the willingness to sit there and say, I need help that Allison's talking about? Or do you see anything different?
So for the population that I'm interacting with here at St. Leo, it runs the gamut. So for financial, I have students who will reach out every chance they get we have an emergency fund that's like a $500 grant. They will reach out as soon as they can for that. Then I have students who need it. They've lost a job or their spouse has lost a job, but they won't take it because they're afraid they're going to take it away from someone else. So they still have that first person plural mindset from the military. Now, I will say, when it comes to mental health, I have connected more people with our counseling center in the past 3 months than I have in the past year of being here. So I think, work like you're doing, Tony, and there being a better national dialogue is changing some of that kind of I can handle anything type attitude we had in the military to now saying, okay, look, there's a lot of variables here that are out of my control. I need help. So there's a positive happening in that regard.
And Wayne, we talked about earlier. Wayne is he's like a almost like a Mustang, right? Went from enlisted to warrant officer. He's not totally the Mustang, but he's getting very close. So Wayne, explain your demographics that you have down where you're at in St. Pete, and is there any kind of you think there's any kind of barrier from them asking for help from where you're at?
So for us, we do have our student veterans, but we've got probably 300 more military-connected students, being the dependents and the spouses, than compared to our student veteran population on the St. Pete campus itself. It's interesting that we have our center where they can come in. We still have some office hours where they can come in and deal with it. But as Luke said, you're starting to see that change. There are those who they're asking for assistance. And then there's those who, I'm not going to ask. I don't want to take it away from someone else right now. I'll come and let you know that I'm having a challenge, but only if there's enough left over. And so we have food pantries on all 3 campuses that any of our students can use. And a lot of our student veterans won't actually go to the pantry. And I won't say it's necessarily a pride issue. I mean, we do have, as veterans, we do have a little bit of pride. But as Allison said, they get to the point where, hey, if I need help, I'm going to go ask for help. But some of the mindset for our students and our population is, you know what? It's not as bad yet. Maybe someone else needs it more. And so I'm not going to go and grab that resource. And so letting them know that we're available to help, kind of like Luke said, okay, there's the wellness center that we can put you in touch with that just help with some of that mental angst. And they're not looking at it from, hey, I've got challenges because of my experiences in the military. This is all challenges because of COVID that everyone's facing right now. So, hey, can I go to the mental wellness and get some help from our wellness center and just deal with some of the stress and just work? Okay, what stress mechanisms do we have? Can I do yoga online at home just to try to relax? I mean, I've got to figure out something. Is there a way that I can, zen out for a moment? So I think we're seeing a lot more of that. But then also tying to our community resources and partners like you, Tony, where we can put them in touch where they can listen to and find other outlets that are available inside the local community that a lot of times they may not have thought about reaching out to or thinking that they needed.
You had mentioned about about veterans council, veterans being a part, but can you guys, ladies, can you identify who you found to be your biggest, I guess, supporter or advocate for your area as far as, hey, these it could be 1 or 2. I mean, we're not trying to embarrass anybody. I just want to know kind of where you got getting your support from, and we'll start with you, Luke. You got any particular advocate you really has helped you guys out for the last year or 2?
So there's multiple people within the community. I will say this: St. Leo has a large campus, although not as large as USF. We've got a good sized campus and centers, and then an online population. So one of the strongest partners that we have a direct partnership built with Team Red, White, and Blue, and the reason why it benefits us so well is because they're so large in the Tampa area, but they also have chapters usually where we have our education centers because the population is so similar, and they also offer online things to do. So just like what Wayne was saying, it provides a social aspect, but it also provides that physical or that mental aspect for someone to do yoga. And if they have to do it online because they're quarantining, they can. If they still want to be physical, they can do an online challenge. that has been very big for us. And honestly, as far as that partnership, COVID has only grown that partnership between us and Team Red, White, and Blue.
How about you, Allison? Anybody in your area that you really said they've been a great supporter of our community and our veterans?
Yeah, we are so fortunate to be on this side of the Bay. And we have Bay Pines. And within Bay Pines, we've got the OEF, OIF program, and they're always there for our students. They are there to connect them with any resources outside of SPC that they might need. I'm going to have to go ahead and pat SPC on the back because we do an awful lot for our students within the college. Seemingly borders on some more social issues that maybe might be handled by other organizations, but we do a really good job of finding those grants and then applying those within our walls. And also we have, I'm sure you guys know him, we've got Danny at the Vet Center. And he is here for our guys. Oh my goodness, he'll be here at the drop of the hat. He's always willing to show up to any of our events, to call a student, whatever he needs to do to make sure that those students are taken care of. So, I hate to say that it's been the VA who's propping us up everywhere, but it's been the VA who's propping us up everywhere.
Okay, and then how about you?
Well, of course, I'm going to have to say USF and some of the resources that we have that are available to help out some of the students. So if we didn't have some of those resources, I don't think some of our students would continue on with going through college right now. But of course, being on that side of the Bay, I mean, as Allison said, Bay Pines is a strong supporter. But the other one I want to give kudos to would be a lot of our local veteran service organizations. They go out of their way to see how they can help out some of these student veterans. And sometimes it'll just be a quick phone call. And, if we find there's a student who's having a challenge with housing insecurity, or they're, because of COVID, they lost their job and all of a sudden they thought they were going to get a new job and now they're falling behind on, paying for that car payment or paying the insurance. Sometimes we can reach out to some of our local VSOs, and they use their emergency relief fund to go and help support some of those students. And I think that's one of the things that people don't realize often that some of these VSOs are doing, is that they're supporting our student veterans as well as other veterans in the local area and trying to see what they can do to help out.
That's good. That's good to know too. So we got the whole gamut. We got the local community with RWB. We have the VA, Bay Pines, and the Vet Center, and we also have the VSOs that are helping out as well. And last time, one thing I want to ask, and you always got, I'm getting used to this, a nonprofit. You always have to have your ask, right? Gotta have your ask, right? Which is difficult, especially if you're in the military a long time, to ask somebody, right? We're used to just telling somebody, but to ask. So if you guys could, each one of you, if you guys could think of at least one ask that you can ask for the community with regards to helping out the student veteran population and their families, what would that be? And I'll put that to Wayne first, because we already kind of talked that real quick. I don't want to put Alice too much on the spot right now. But Wayne, can you think of that one ask that you can ask for the community as we go into the COVID-19 and holiday?
It doesn't matter where what your alma mater is or what branch of service you're in. So it doesn't matter if you're St. Leo, St. Pete, USF, Duke, Harvard, any of the colleges. Take a moment and reach out to the student veteran offices and call up and ask what you can do to help. I think that would be one of the greatest asks that I would look at, is seeing how you can get involved, how you can help support some of the student veterans that are going through, if they're having some challenges and difficulties, whether they're here locally in USF, like USF and St. Pete, or with St. Leo, or if they're doing distance learning, especially with a lot of the folks that Luke is dealing with.
Okay, and you, Allison, now you have time to think. So what's your ask?
So my one ask is actually very similar to Wayne's. I find that we have plenty of resources out there for our veterans. We, as veteran people, have done a really good job of propping up our brothers and sisters. The problem seems to be that we don't know about each other. So there's a safety network, but it's so spread apart that it can't really catch everybody. So my ask would be that people go out and find out who these organizations are and find out what their mission is, so that if you meet somebody and they're in need, you know how to connect them, because that's really all it takes at this point, is connecting them to the right person.
Okay, and then finally, Luke.
So
like we get in the military, we have to, when you go for promotion, we gotta go to the board, whatever. And by the time it's time for you, boy, you know everything. Hey, I know what to say now.
that was always my technique. That was always I get last in line so I could get all those questions that other people got wrong.
Right.
Now I can say that. No, so being in Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Pasco County, and really being in some of the most veteran dense areas in the entire United States, my ask for the community would be to know a veteran on their terms. Do not assume that you know us. Do not assume that you understand our needs. Take time to know that individual. There are so many different things that play out. Branch of service, time in service, their type of job, the way they were enculturated before the military, after the military. There are so many things. And I think getting to know each individual veteran as we are as humans, and not as a stereotype that civilians tend to pull as a hodgepodge from movies and television and all these different areas, really get to know someone. And then there you will know their needs. And then I think, exactly what Wayne was saying, call up and ask, what can we do to help you? Because that's the biggest thing. If people say they support veterans, really support us.
So I think we're about to wrap this up because you guys had, I had you here all day, really. And I hope to have you guys back later. We're going to start talking. We have some little roundtables about the post 9/11 GI Bill and some other kind of things in the future in 2021 as we start rounding this out. How are you guys going to celebrate your Thanksgiving? What are you doing, Wayne?
Well, I'll say first, before we even get to Thanksgiving, we're partnering with one of the local nonprofits who's actually giving out turkeys for a lot of our veterans and military families. So looking forward to doing that. And so if not just for our students, but for veterans in general. So if you're in the Pinellas area and it's something that you need, then please reach out to our office so we can try to go and put you in touch with that local nonprofit. But other than that, I'm going to hopefully escape up into the mountains of East Tennessee for a little bit, just so I can enjoy the cooler weather.
Oh, okay. Allison, what you doing for Thanksgiving?
I am hoping to host. I'm going to put my apron on and cook for like 3 days straight. That's
goodness. And Luke, what are you doing for the holidays?
I was hoping a guy named Tony Ellsworth would invite me over for Thanksgiving.
I appreciate it. Yep, you will be there. You will be there early. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, man. So I want to again thank you guys for being here, you guys and ladies for being here. Wayne doing a great job at USF St. Pete. Allison, I don't know if I mentioned before, Allison's Army veteran as well. So we got almost the branches covered. We got the Army, Marines. Actually, we got 2 Army. Sorry, that's enough, right?
That's all you need.
Marine, we're good to hook. I still can't get over that. Luke, the Marine, has got a PhD. Can you guys get over that? It's hard to.
I still eat crayons and fries.
Okay. All right, guys.
That's what I'm doing for Thanksgiving.
What's that? Yeah. Oh, now I don't like the brown crayons. So I go over there, Luke. So. All right, guys. So this is just Tony where I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys again for being here. And I'll see you guys on 2021 side. We can start talking some stuff, more stuff we can talk about to help our student veterans get through the rest of the year for 2021. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
So guys, so thank you very much. We just got finished hearing from Luke McClees from St. Leo University. He's the director for military and veteran affairs. We also heard from Wayne Taylor. He's director of military service and success over at USF St. Pete in the Pinellas area. And finally, we heard from Allison Chinovsky, and she is the student support advisor coordinator from out of St. Pete College. And for disclosure, Veterans Council of Veterans is partnered with St. Pete College for couple of their programs, but they have a suicide prevention task force, which Veteran Council Veterans is a partner with. So anyway, I hope you got some takeaway from our podcast. And please, if you know any event that's going on throughout the holidays, let us know so we can let the population know out there. I also want you guys to know what's coming up for us next week. Again, next week we got the Bay Area Legals. It'll be Friday at 11:30. We're going to talk about the legal issues, how to get your discharge upgraded, how you deal with evictions, and how you deal with some domestic violence. We're also going to have some. Look at this schedule. Look at the schedule here. This schedule here is crazy, right? This is me working, make sure our veterans and our family get stuff going on. So we got Bay Area Legal this time. Next week we're going to talk to the homeless. We really got to look out for the homeless because this is a time when we don't know, and then during the holidays they can't find the resources. We got to know our resources when it comes to homeless veterans. We got Tampa Councilman Luis Fierro. After that, we're going to then talk about the nonprofit. You'll see some. Maybe I'll invite Team RWB on as well when we talk about some of the local resources that are on. And domestics. We're going to talk about domestics. You still got to talk about domestics. We want to try to give people tools. If you're thinking about doing something domestic, we want to know where you can go. We want you to know where you can go if that happens. And if you are experiencing a domestic, we want you to know also where you can go for that. And then finally, we'll have the VCB Pride. So anyway, this is Tony Williams from Veterans Council Veterans Spotlight. Knowing your local resources. This is Tony Williams from Veterans Council Veterans out.